Now and again we have to stop for different crossings, but road traffic has to give way to us. Obviously some of our locomotives, if they pull in 1,000 ton, they don't stop very quick. The place on your left with the black car outside, this used to be Barclays Bank in the days of pay packets. And then British Steel took it on board, and so did Barclays Bank went. So here's our little engine sheds and our little pacer. Stood at the doorway to the canteen is Colin. So all wave to Colin. Everybody wave to Colin. And that gesture from Colin is about all you will get. He's an excellent little train driver. So just bear with us down here while we do a bit of shunting to get into Appleby Station. Please do not try and get off the train until we sort of say. Okay, and then I will tell you where the toilets are. So just bear with us while we do a little bit of shunting down here. There's our shot. So here you can see our diesel, number one. That's been here now about 60 years, I think 60 years. And then our little Polish engine. And behind that is our DMU, which goes back to the early days, 1990. Wants a bit of attention. We hope to get it running soon so we can take more people around with us. So as we go along here now, you're going to see pipes. You're not going to see plenty of pipes all day, but most of these pipes used to carry gas. Now for all the railway people, on your left, C5 is a hopper car from the I line. Then there's number 81, the class 20, I think the number was 20056. When we first brought the rail production to Scunthorpe, we needed trains with fitted brakes. Number 5, this thing on your left now, number 5, this is a torpedo. We put in there 250 tons of molten iron. And then we transport it about 1.5 miles. If you look over to your right, as we stood still, over to your right, and then big white buildings over there, that's British Oxygen. And that's a vibrant win. Roland spelt R-O-W-L-A-N-D, Roland. So in the town we have got a road called Roland Road, and we also have a street called Oswald Road. So remember Oswald Road, and I'll tell you more about that in a bit, and I'll tell you more about Roland Wynn. We took it off, we came to live this way. He came to live this way at Appleby Frodingham, which was a sign of the Ermine Street. There's nothing left of that now. I think the only thing what's left is some gate pillars, what once led on to Ermine Street. But to be honest, I've never seen them, because usually you're going that fast down that road, nobody notices anything. So when we bring the rail up here, we take it into these big sheds, which I was hoping we'd get into, but it doesn't look like it. And then we have probably about 20 cranes up in the roof, and they all have magnets hanging from them, and we'll unload the rails. And then the odd little deer up here, I can't promise, but we do get deer up here. And you think, how did you get up here?
Most of these.
So just to our left, on top of that little hill there, that's where we was a moment ago.
I imagine they still use a small number of them to bring the coke in from Illington.
Oh yeah, of course.
I love it.
I think it's nice when you travel around the steelworks that nature is fighting back. I think it's really nice. Just don't forget, up to 1850, this was a green and pleasant land. And I didn't take any coffee off the ferry go. But if you ever go to Shetland, the food on the ferry is first class. So going out, I had this is me and my. So now you can see the piles of sand, which was once slag, and I say they use that in the glass industry. And it's about getting rid of carbon dioxide as they're making the glass. I understand some of the glass we make is bottles for Jamesons. So next time you're having a Jamesons, you can look at that sand down there and put 2 and 2 together. The place over there with the chimney, that is the sinter plant. We'll be nearer that in the second part of the tour. And that's all to do with the iron ore. So I'll tell you that in a little bit. But the iron ore sort of arrives there, and the iron ore we get is about the size of a Malteser. By the time it leaves there, it's in a cake form, and we call it sinter. Now look down on your right, look at the lakes. So all we do is just turn them over and empty. So that's where the iron ore comes in. We'll discuss that a little bit later, because when we're putting that into the blast furnaces, we don't call it iron ore, we call it sinter. So down here, we really are tidying it up down here. We've got some very old wagons. We've really tidied this place up down here. You'll be right, this. This is called the Mills Yard. And at one time of the day, this was full of railway wagons and it was full of locomotives. This was very busy. On your left, you can see part of where we're digging up, dragging out the iron ore, the slag, and then we're grinding it. We'll talk a little bit later about the uses now of slag. So on our right, on these railway wagons, you can see this is what we call slabs. We either make blooms, billets or slabs. So these are slabs, and these will be going up to Appleby. Although I heard a whisper that we're going to start sending it down to Port Talbot. Notice the numbers. Notice the numbers. The 76421. That is the cast. That is the cast. And all the steel cannot leave here until it's got identification, and that identification will keep with it forever. Look on the far side, scrap, wire. Okay, so we make billets or blooms, and then we reduce it down to wire. Some of that will not end up as wire. Well, all that lot's going to end up back being melted. But the wire, it doesn't always end up as wire. This is where you get your screws from. This is where you get your nails from. This is where you get the metalwork for your coat hangers from. This is where you get your drawing pins from. This is where you get your tyre cord from. There are other little wagons up there, they're scrap. They're scrap wagons. We do get through a lot of scrap. Now coming into view now, some more big pipes. And the top pipe is full of blast furnace gas. So during these tours, I might just tell you a little porcupine. So do you think that top pipe, do you think we could drive a Land Rover through that top pipe? Yes, we can. That's how big that top pipe is. The bigger pipe underneath that is now redundant, because that used to be full of coal gas, which was more volatile. Then we mix the two together and we can use it. The pipe with the kinks are in for expansion, that is full of oxygen. Glenn once told me what the bar is of that, and I completely forgot. So, we talked about rails. Now then, this building, well, you're going to make your own mind up. Some say it's a mile long. You can make your own mind up on that. 1972, 1974. Her Majesty the Queen came this way, 1972. The Queen came this way and she opened this and she brought Philip with her. So this is where we roll the rail. Rather large building, isn't it? And this is where, keep looking, because on a nice day, a little bit further on, this is where the stray cats will come out of the mill and do a bit of sunbathing. All this on your left, it goes for about another mile, and over there is lakes and forests and you name it, where the foxes live. We can't take you over there, very deep water. Where we used to dig out iron ore. We've dug out iron ore everywhere in this town. Keep looking into the mill anywhere you can, because you might see them rolling, which is very rare. So we're quite capable of rolling angle iron and things like that in there as well. And I was presuming roll the old girder in there. Or the rail. Night tours, then you'll see right in there. So there's caster 5, then there's slabs, then there's billets, and then there's caster 4 right at the far end. Now we're on the most easterly part of the works, and obviously we make a lot of nasty things here. This place on your right, this is where we dispose of and separate all the acids. And then some of these acids, we send them to different parts of the town where we've got the same acid, and we've got all these big bacteria what feed on this and turn it into nice stuff. Now we talked about scrap. Welcome to scrap. If you think there's a lot of scrap here, once we've gone onto one of these art labels, there is not enough scrap here for what we need, and there is not enough scrap in the world. If everybody goes on arc furnaces, right, electric arc furnaces, notice the different piles, because it will all be different qualities. Because when we make 300 ton of steel, first of all we put in 50 ton of scrap. Then we pour in 250 ton of iron. It's simple. And this is all iron. So you're going to see there's 2 steel labels, you're going to see a lot of iron, lots of brickwork. And then I'm going to shut up, because we're going to go for 1 in 100 hill. And I'm just going to let you enjoy this steam engine working. So there's the ladles. Here's all the iron. If that was steel, we've now passed over £1 million worth of scrap. It's iron. Society first started, this building on the left, we was off at this building. I sometimes think we maybe ought to have took this building. Keep looking to your left as well, you're going to see a road. This road we can land aeroplanes, only small aeroplanes. And down here we have an helicopter landing place. So King Charles, if he wishes to go, this is where he can turn up. Over there as well is Morrison's. Morrison's were building this place in 1970-72. There was a town over there, wooden town. 1,000 workers over there. I'll let you into a secret now about art. He's a railway enthusiast. He loves steam locomotives. Now and again he's up on the North Yorkshire Moors and he'll have a drive and a ride on a steam locomotive. We won't hear about it. So when we come to the top of here, we're going to have to turn right, sharp right. There's 2 more railway lines up here, and these are dedicated railway lines from our blast furnaces to the boss plant, where the torpedoes come. Now I am going to hope that we're going to see some torpedoes. I can't promise. The other week it was quite good. We saw about 4. This tour, okay? So please be careful. So going along here now, we've got Comcast to our right, we've got the slab yard to our left. There's some tunnels come underneath where the slabs come through. We've just put in a new billet caster. So this concrete thing here, presumably to do with water, is to do with that. Behind that there's some cranes which lift the slabs up, they twist the slabs around, and then we stack them. Each one of those cranes has a computer on board, and he knows which bay he's put the steel in. That's if he's in a good mood. This little grey place to our left here, this is the sulphur print. So what we do, we cut off the end of the slab, about 2 inches, and then we let it cool, and then we put it in milling machines, we mill it so it's nice and shiny. Then we take it into the laboratory and we put acid on it, and a photography paper, photographic paper, and it tells us where the sulphur is, dots and dashes in grey. So now we're going to where we'll swap the engine onto the other half. So this little bit to your right now is the water treatment, and a wonderful guy used to work in here called Cyril Lacey, and his nickname was Teabag Cyril. He was a wonderful man. Every time you worked with him, he told you he owed you a cup of tea. Oh, sorry, you owed him a cup of tea, and you used to get a Christmas. He retired and went back to Huddersfield. Climb on board if you so wish, mind the gap. So you don't have to run away. That was a lovely sound, was that? So now we're at the back side of the Queen's car park. So is our little Janus. And I think we ought to be going into a few offices and having a word with the old Chinese, and maybe that join our fleet. Now we are going to go through a bit of a building here, so we will stop. We've got safety procedures to do. Okay, so if you hear lots of alarms and things like that, do not be alarmed. So we're going to take you through a little bit of a rolling mill. It's about 100 yards, and I want you to all look on your right as we travel forward. I want you all, and you'll see better on the verandas, because sometimes you will see them beginning to roll the rail. Okay, that's very rare, very rare. But keep looking to the right, and plus you're going to see lots of steel ready for preheating. Each piece about 8,000 tonne. But if they are rolling, you're going to see small red cranes. If they are rolling, they'll be right at the far end. And I want you to think about winter time and how cold it will be in here where we go. So it's just... So hang on, and everybody look to their right. And look to the far end. No, they're not rolling. You can see the crane up there. It's about underneath that crane where you're well, we've reheated the steel and it's on its way to make a railway. So every piece of steel in here will turn out to be a railway line. We'll just have to stop. No, we're not going to do, fair enough. So we've got the rail mill on our right, and we've got the old broom and billet mill on our left. The broom and billet mill closed about 1992. You're going to see lots of rollers up here. Keep looking at any entrance you can see. There's a lorry in there. You're going to see old rollers rusting, and you're going to see some new rollers covered in blue polythene. I hate to think how much some of this stuff costs. Now the Chinese, this building on our left, the Chinese, they did do a lot of measuring up, and they seem to have abandoned whatever they want to do in there. Seen this many times in different magazines. All I'll say is, look across there, the blast furnaces, the coke ovens, and in about 6 years' time, I dare say there's going to be nothing there. But when we talk about going back to 1860, change had to come. We saw change with Comcast, and we're going to see a change again. When we bring the limestone in to mix with the clinker, not clinker, the brain's gone again. This is where we bring the limestone and tip it. We bring it in by lorry to mix with the sinter. We did try trials with the bring it in by rail, but it didn't work. Sometimes we catch deer down here. Today we've not been lucky, have we? fast 37s, bringing the iron ore in. Then we went on to a fast 60. Then we're on the 66s. Freightliner took over the contract a little bit. But from Barnaby and Roby Junction, if we're not guaranteed a good run, the 66 will not get up Sampton Bank. I saw it on. But again, look at YouTube, put in Scunthorpe Works, Appleby Frodingham, and you will find it of interest. Honestly, going back to some of the things, you're really going to meet some, see some heroes at work, honestly. So how did I become involved with this industry? Well, I moved from Chesterfield, to a village called Melton, and I was bricklaying. To be honest, in those days I was throwing money at us. In fact, I was travelling to Chesterfield every day. And then the work got a bit steadier. So a guy said, why don't you go and get a job on the steelworks? I didn't even know what the steelworks was. The interview was a pass, but I got a job because the Labour government at the time was using the steelworks as a dumping ground. So you wouldn't see the figures on the unemployment figures. So we've got into a soaking pit to repair the floor. We've shut bricks down as quick as we can, iced it up, and after 6 minutes, 10 minutes you'll be out because you've had enough. I've stood in front of components with a silver suit on. 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Move away, let somebody else do it. You pulled off your helmet and you thought you were stood in the shower. Honestly. Quite amazing. But what British Steel did, they started sending me on all these courses. And watching the film was far better than work, so I got more and more interested in it. And so yes, I have been on these 3 times. I didn't like shift work, to be honest. It wasn't for me. Weekend and nights drove me crazy. But now I still meet up with guys and we still talk about the old days. If one of us passes on, one of the guys passes on, you'll be surprised at how many people are down at Woodlands crematorium. And the comradeship on these works is absolutely incredible. Fantastic electric locomotive. Well, just at the back of this big building we're going to go past on your right, that is where the with it, at least it did not rain. So I'm going to let these guys in this back. That is what you call magic. So if you want some photographs taken, you want to go to the front lane, just hang about. I think we've got maybe 10 minutes, okay, before the next door. So again, thank you for coming, safe journey home. It's been nice meeting you all. Not just from me, I'm going through today, all the guys who you don't see, who do all the work on a Wednesday. Okay, so it's been lovely meeting you all. Please all come back again another day.